Thanks for joining. This homily might sound like it is specifically for most Sacred Heart parishioners only. It's not. I speak of an approach to life that I think is important for each of us, whatever our life situation, wherever we are. I mean, some elements are specific to most Sacred Heart and this archdiocese at this time. For example, a young woman named Nicole will speak at all the masses about the difference this parish has made in her life, but I hope there's something for each of us in it. I haven't really practiced this at all, so I hope it goes okay. And in any case, thank you for all the good you do and the difference you make. The good you do seen and unseen. You really do matter. One of the things that Nicole is saying at each of our masses this weekend is that there could be any number of people standing before our parishioners to speak of what a difference this parish has made in their lives. I mean, she's right. I hear it all the time. I am one of those blessed to be here. I could speak of the differences this parish has made in my life. I could speak of the difference that each of the parishes has made in my life. There's so many good people I've been blessed to meet over the years. But I'm going to speak specifically about Most Sacred Heart. When I came here over 8 years ago, I was kind of scared. I was a bit overwhelmed by it all. I had the sadness of goodbye heavy in my heart. And now it's the first weekend, and I'm saying Mass. Now, I got all this stuff in my heart. We get to the front singing the opening song, and I turned around and I felt something tugging on my hymnal. And it was the little 5th grade servant trying to pull down the songbook so that she could sing along with me. I found in that moment that simple act of goodness on her heart. One of the ways God said to me, I am here to hear. God is here. God is. If you're a part of this parish, I would think you've sensed that too, haven't you? Several weeks ago, I sent a letter to all registered parishioners. And one of the things I mentioned was how I'll never forget what it was like when I first heard for sure that Saturday morning before I announced it at the 5 o'clock Mass that Most Sacred Heart Parish would remain open as a parish, and that although 80% of all the priests were being transferred, both Father Leo and I would be blessed to be able to stay here. It's one of the things for which I will be grateful until the end of my days. That news was also for me a call to action, and I really think it is for each of us. Here's my thinking. Gratitude for our blessings is what leads me to want to make sure that I do all the good that I can in the time I have left on earth for as many people as I can. That comes from my gratitude for how profoundly blessed I am. And here's the thing. When I give of myself, my time, my heartfelt prayer, my service, my financial resources, I am also changed myself. The process of doing so, it's my joy, really. God calls me to be a generous person, and I am happiest when I am so. In today's scripture, St. Paul says, none of us lives for oneself, and no one dies for oneself. That is the approach that leads to a meaningful and joyful life. Today I invite you to respond from a place of gratitude as well. And I hope and pray that if you're a part of this parish, I trust that you've found God here as well. And if you're not here, that where you are, you've sensed God's love there for you as well. Here, maybe it was someone who welcomed you, right? Or maybe you or a loved one was baptized or confirmed or are married, or maybe you buried a loved one here. Or maybe you served those in need side by side with others and just found great joy in being in it together to do some good. Or maybe you heard a thought in a homily, in person or online, a word of comfort or inspiration or guidance or hope that you sensed somehow that God had for you. That is just one of the countless ways your Sunday offering here makes a difference for people. Our bulletin this week lists a page of statistics, but they're really just a few of the ways that we serve you and that we together serve each other, right? Here's the thing. The very community that we have here depends on you and the choices you make. None of the goodness and vitality that we celebrate this weekend could happen without you and your generosity. So today and next weekend, we're inviting everyone here to be intentional about your commitment. In just a moment, I'll be asking people to pass to one another the packets at the end of the pews. If you're watching us online, there's a link somehow that you can click to allow you to be a part of this as well. You will. One part of this is for now, one part is for later if you're in person, but we're inviting people to take this brochure home and read about our ministries online and opportunities to pray and serve so that you can learn more about them before you fill it out and return it next weekend. Inside is the part that we're going to invite people to fill out this weekend. There is a commitment card and a pencil. And this is a focus on people's financial support. Now, if you've already completed this card, thank you. I hope it's pretty self-explanatory, but we invite people to be sure to check off whether or not your offering is weekly, monthly, annually, one time. If this is a time in your life when you need financial help, let us know. That's what we do. We care for each other in times of need. If you are able to increase your generosity, please do. Please. It really makes a difference. And if you would like to give online, which is a wonderful thing, and you go to the home page on our website, there's a banner called Prayer, Service, and Support, which walks you through that. And if you need any help with that, call or email Pam, our wonderful business manager, and she'll kind of coach you through that. This is not for a certain kind of person or an in-group or an out-group. This is each of us doing our part in our time while we can. So I'm going to invite people to take a moment to fill out this card online. If you want to pause the video, if you're at home and do that, you could by clicking on whatever link we have. And in person, after this has been filled out, we'll invite people to place this in the offering basket with a regular offering. Next weekend, we turn this. We'll You might get a kick out of this. While people are filling this out in the pews, will take 60 seconds, and I'll tell anybody that's not the family member filling this out to represent their whole family to please pray. Great, here's 60 seconds for prayer. And as one of our staff people put it, and please pray that the person filling out this card on your behalf of your family is being very generous right now. We have a very fun staff. Just thank you. And I'll end with this. Several years ago, a person came through the doors of our church for the first time. It was months later, almost a year I think, that she introduced herself to me and said, when I first came here, it was at a really dark time in my life, tough time. I was in a dark place. And I want to quote her directly. She said, I wrote this down, I was welcomed with kindness, touched by the music, and moved by the homily. This parish helped me to choose to go on living. This parish literally helped save my life. And all the ways you offer yourself here, your precious time, your hard-earned money, your God-given gifts, you truly do help many people. You also help me. And I believe that in a very important way, you also truly help yourself. For such generous giving is part of your path and my path to a meaningful, joy-filled life.